Hello and welcome to VOA's Red Carpet. My name is Jackson Vunganyi. Thank you so much for joining us today. On this episode of Red Carpet, we have legendary Congolese musician Awilo Logomba. Lowriders in Los Angeles and Amapiano stars put South African dance music on the map. Let's get on with the show. And let's start the show with some highlights of the latest entertainment news from around the world. And we begin with film news. Kenyan film director Wanurika Huyi makes her Hollywood debut with Netflix Leo Reinhardt dramedy Look Both Ways. The film focuses on Natalie, played by Reinhardt, whose life diverges in two parallel worlds. The filmmaker has been making waves in the international scene for more than a decade. Her first feature film, From a Whisper, won Best Screenplay and Director at the African Movie Academy Awards in 2009. And her second, Rafiki, a critically acclaimed queer love story that was temporarily banned in Kenya, was the first film from the country to be screened at the Cannes Film Festival in 2018. And in some more film news, BET Plus has picked up the US streaming rights to South Africans produced sci-fi survival thriller Pulse. The series tells the story of an electromagnetic pulse that disables signals in a building and turns each floor into a psychotic battlefield. The series was created by the Oscar and BAFTA-winning VFX team behind such films such as Skyfall, Harry Potter, and The Dark Knight Rises. And in some music news, Tanzanian show promoter Steve Uwa has backtracked on the accusations that he made against Kiss Daniel after the Nigerian singer was arrested for failing to perform at a scheduled concert. And we reported last week that Uwa had accused Kiss Daniel of refusing to perform because a gold chain that he wanted to wear at the show had not arrived. And the promoter has since admitted that there was other logistic issues that accounted for the Booga Crooner's missed performance. Uwa, in an interview with Nigerian media personality Daddy Freeze, stated that emotions were high when he had initially made the accusations. Kiss Daniel, who promised to make up for the missed show, finally performed in Tanzania. And in some sad news, Rwandan music fans are mourning the death of award-winning artist and pop star Yvan Buravan. Buravan died this week at the age of 27 after succumbing to pancreatic cancer. Buravan, whose songs dominated local Rwandan music charts, was in India where he was undergoing treatment. And in some more music news, the fusion of jazz, house music, and other styles into South Africa's Amapiano genre is crossing borders and set to hit 1 billion streams on Spotify this month. Two of the top female artists, Kamo Mafela and DBN Gogo, say that the genre's explosion is about inclusivity. Let's take a look.
Amapiano has changed my life in the sense of I never imagined myself being in certain positions that I'm in today. Not because it wasn't my dream, but I never thought it was possible, especially from being a girl who lived in a one-room in Soweto and now being on the biggest stages with bigger superstars, you know, like Chris Brown and Wiz.
You're listening to Kamo Mphela, one of the top female artists in a genre exploding through South Africa, crossing borders, and set to hit 1 billion streams on Spotify. It's called Amapiano, and it combines styles like jazz and house music. And some of its biggest names are telling us the reason it's exploding is simple. It's inclusive.
Previously in the South African music game, we all wanted to be hip-hop stars and everything, but now we have our own sound where we don't have to act different anymore. I can be Kamo, I can say whatever on a song, and people actually like me for me, and not because I'm trying to sound like a Nicki Minaj.
We are the movers and the shakers of the industry right now.
That's Dibin Gogo, another top artist, playing here in London.
And even besides that, we're so inclusive with people that come from outside the genre to collaborate with. We are always collaborating, we're not competing with one another because there's actually so much space and so much money and so much, just knowledge to go around for everyone. Amapiano are the new superstars. We are doing what the hip-hop guys were supposed to be doing. There hasn't been a black genre that's taken over the way that it has since, you know, your Afrobeats. Before that, I mean, hip-hop.
Dibingogo says it's her responsibility to bring Amapiano to the rest of the world, and it may be working. A Spotify representative told Reuters that it's seeing strong growth in places as far as France and even Japan.
You're watching Red Carpet on the Voice of America. Now, one of the biggest names in African music, Awilo Logomba, was recently in the US for a special appearance. In an interview with VOA's Roger Muntu, the Congolese legend gave some tips on how to stay young and shared how his parents did not support his music career from the beginning. Let's check it out.
I talked with one of my brothers. Yeah. He said, Awilo, sometimes I'm scared for you. Now you have, I don't know, like you give all your best. Where come your energy? Yeah. Same time, right. You know. But I respond, I don't know where is come my energy. Wow. My energy is come from my brain and my head. You know, it doesn't come from my body. You know, like you think, like you are. When you step by step, you arrive on this kind of level, you cannot say thanks God. I say thanks God, and I say yes. Sometimes I said by myself, yes, it's a merit. Why? Because I come from far too. I was suffering about the music. I was stopping my scholarity because of the music, you know. Then my parents was banning me like you're a bad boy because soon you start to be musician, 14 or 15, you know, when I was teenager, you know. And when it's like a challenge. And the same people like my parents, now they pass away. Before, they're still alive. When they're still alive, my mother see, wow. Wow. This is a God destiny. Sorry, we don't know. Before, if we knew, maybe it's supposed to put on the music school. Yes. Like here, when you remark, that's the advantage of people that are in the Occident, only America everywhere. When they discover one of his kids, have some talented to play football, to do music, or to play guitar, you know, direct. They buy a guitar for him. Compared to us in Africa, you start to play guitars, your parents come, they broke the guitars, these are not good. Because maybe for the image of music, image in our country was like, the people who smoke, drug, they don't give money, they go to school, yes. No. Maybe it's the reason why. Me too, if I was dad in that period, maybe it's gonna be difficult for me to accept one of my kids being, start to play music.
And let's head over to Los Angeles, LA. A Lowrider is a customized car with a lowered body. VOA's Jania Dulo talks to a couple of lowriding enthusiasts in Los Angeles to learn more about the roots and culture of these hydraulic-enhanced vehicles.
It's a 95 town car, and I bought it from the first owner. And I bought it all original stock rims. The first thing I went to do is I took it to one-way hydraulics in LA, and they put hydraulics, and I had the stock rims. When I was 19, 20 years old, I bought this one, and I've been fixing it since then.
Lowriding started post-World War II when men in the United States really began this love affair with the American car. Hot rodding actually began a lot sooner, like in the 1930s, and hot rods were cars that were built off the ground to go fast. So lowriding in post-World War II America, it was the opposite aesthetics. Instead of being high and fast like hot rods, which represent Americana, it was oppositional aesthetics, and they took it low to the ground, and it was about going slow.
Once you change the tires from the original size, you lower the car and then it has small rims, so it's definitely gonna go to the ground. People would just drop the car. So they'll drop it, and if a cop's seen them, they'll get pulled over. So little by little, people started inventing the hydraulics, and they started putting the hydraulics. So I guess every time they see a police officer, they'll race up the car so that they wouldn't get pulled over and get a ticket.
There was a California law that your car couldn't be any lower than the bottom of the wheel rim. Hydraulics did allow sort of lowriders to go from illegal to street legal, but yes, a police officer could still write you a ticket for, having hydraulics are too low, but typically they don't.
Little by little, cops started seeing that, okay, you know what, this guy is just a lowrider guy. So now they just see me, they just wave. Back then, I guess they just wanted to check, make sure I wasn't gang related, make sure I didn't have guns in the car. Because like I said, they just stereotype. First thing they see lowriders, they're gonna think, oh, it's a gang member.
Lowriding culture today is very diverse. It's not just Chicano, there's African American, there's white, there's Asian. Lowriding is in Brazil, it's in Japan. Lowriding, I think, is something that obviously started in the United States, represents sort of American culture, but other cultures around the world are using lowriding to express their identity.
If I were to sell it, I would want more than 20K. But honestly, like I said, I prefer not to sell it. Just I'd prefer just to pass it on to my kids and have them enjoy it. And soap one too.
And we close the show with some sports news as iconic US tennis player Serena Williams announced that, quote, the countdown had begun to her retirement from the sport. Let's take a look at the details surrounding her retirement and some of the highlights from her legendary career.
Serena Williams' decision to bow out has left tennis staring at the beginning of the end of the sport's golden era, a dreaded but inevitable prospect that has long been on the horizon. The American, who will turn 41 next month, said that the countdown has begun for her to quit playing and devote more time to her family and business. Williams, who made her professional debut in 1995, a year after her older sister Venus, has been one of the game's most marketable stars. She has a slew of corporate partners, and in 2019 became the first athlete to land on Forbes' list of America's richest self-made women. Williams won her first Grand Slam title at the 1999 US Open when she was 17, a tournament she would go on to win 5 more times. Over the past 2 decades, she has also claimed 7 titles at both Wimbledon and the Australian Open, and a further 3 at the French Open, as she revolutionized the women's game with a lethal mix of powerful serves, ground strokes, and athleticism. Williams has 8 separate spells at the top of the WTA rankings, totaling 319 weeks as world number 1. Williams also owns 14 women's Grand Slam double titles with older sister Venus and has won 4 Olympic gold medals, singles in 2012 and doubles in 2000, 2008, and 2012. Williams won her last major in 2017 at the Australian Open while pregnant with her daughter, Olympia. As her illustrious tennis career ends, she will be remembered for decades to come for the impact she made on a sport she dominated for more than 2 decades.
And that's it for this episode of VOA's Red Carpet. My name is Jackson Vunganyi. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. For more entertainment news, remember to check us out at voaafrica.com. We are also on Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, goodbye everyone.